LANDE has been among the more popular platforms in recent years due to their particular positioning in the agricultural niche, which allowed investors to sensibly diversify their investment portfolio. The returns have been promising in the first couple of years, while strong collateral-backed loans have ensured a high-quality portfolio performance. But with any young and strongly growing platform, a few obstacles have crossed the platform's path in recent months, making investors believe that LANDE might not be as stable as initially thought. After making key changes to the platform's operational approach, LANDE CEO Nikita Gonzas has recently spoken to us about a totally revamped platform that he likes to call LANDE 2.0. In this LANDE review, we want to take a closer look at the actual changes that have happened, which lessons the platform has learned along the way, and if there is a promising outlook for investors to keep investing on the platform. The first official communication of LANDE having some IT issues happened at the end of October last year, with the platform explaining that full bullet loans with interval schedule type are temporarily unavailable for buying or selling. A few weeks later, another issue came up with distributing pending payouts for interest and principal amounts accordingly. LANDE has therefore decided to pull the trigger by the end of December and temporarily suspended the secondary market. Since the IT is basically the backbone of any peer-to-peer platform, investors have obviously wondered what might have gone wrong. According to LANDE, their initial IT setup was based on a minimum viable product, which has been outgrown by the increasing challenges of efficiency and scalability, which is why the IT had to be enhanced in terms of logic and functionality to properly deal with a growing number of users, loans, and transactions. To do so, LANDE hired some new team members in recent months that have been managed by CTO Alexandras Nastasins to upgrade the platform's IT infrastructure. Half a year later, the platform managed to relaunch secondary markets successfully, as well as fixing underlying data issues, which made LANDE CEO Nikita Gonzas even say that LANDE is now one of the safest platforms in terms of how funds are distributed.
Now I can state that LANDE, I would say, one of the safest platforms in terms of how the transactions are distributed, because we went through this hard period when we needed to go really deep into all this stuff. We saw all the potential errors and we fixed them now. So I think without going through the crisis, you don't know your weakest parts, and it's always useful, to go through it. Yeah.
LANDE is operating in 3 different lender markets so far, with 60% of the outstanding portfolio coming from Latvia, while the other 40% are equally split between Lithuania and Romania. Asking LANDE CEO Nikita where the future growth of the platform is coming from, a few interesting answers have been given. Latvia is considered a small but stable market where the platform feels comfortable to issue around 7 million euro of loans every year without compromising quality. Instead, a bigger supply is expected from a market like Romania, where LANDE is looking at larger hectare amounts, more expensive machinery, and an overall bigger market. The aim of LANDE is to finance around 5 million this year, while 7 to 10 million are targeted for 2025, which would mean that LANDE is then outgrowing their home market in Latvia. As LANDE doesn't want to sacrifice the quality of their loan portfolio in Romania, a decision was made to not issue any loans without fixed assets like machinery or land, unlike their approach in Latvia, where the company feels more experienced and knowledgeable enough to have other security measures in place.
By our predictions, next year it should outgrow Latvia in the volume. Right now we don't push the volume because we want, to go very, very securely, because it's new market. Romania does not have loans without fixed assets like machinery or land at all, because in Latvia we could afford to do it because we had a lot of experience, knowledge in the market. We have many partners who ensure this service. In Romania we don't experiment there at all, only good collateral, very low LTVs. Romania has one of the lowest LTVs for land loans.
The hypothesis of LANDE is that it takes a cycle of around 1 year to set up proper structures and gather experiences in terms of debt collection, bailiffs and lawyers, while observing harvest and the economy of farmers before pushing for more volume. Unlike competitor-heavy finance, LANDE finds it hard to get on top of the market in Lithuania, which the company considers to be quite saturated, competitive and expensive. A particular limitation is seen by the way that companies are able to apply late fees, which according to Nikita is one of the reasons why many farmers wouldn't mind going to court and postpone payments until the last possible moment. Despite some demand from investors, LANDE wants to continue to focus on the portfolio quality in their existing markets and earliest in 2025 consider other countries as well. The importance of a good portfolio quality has been pointed out several times by LANDE CEO Nikita Gontsas. So how does the platform actually perform? Considering the statistics from the end of July, LANDE is managing an outstanding portfolio of close to 16 million euro, with 1.4 million euro being in recovery. This translates to a default rate of 8.75%, which can still be considered a good number, assuming that LANDE manages to recover a significant part of it. One of the key lessons learned by LANDE to enhance its portfolio quality is by focusing on loans backed by machinery or land, where LANDE claims a historic default rate of only 4%, rather than grain products being the main collateral. The shifting focus happened after the war in Ukraine began, with more and more farmers starting to break the contracts with grain buying companies to achieve better prices in the market. The somewhat less predictable repayments and the limited consequences for farmers are the main reasons why harvest loans have decreased from 50% to now 10% within the last 2 years. With a third of LANDE's portfolio in Lithuania being in recovery, the main concern for CEO Nikita is the already mentioned long process in court, which according to him favors the farmer's side to prolong repayments before any sizable fees can be applied.
But in Lithuania, specifics with farmers are like they wait until the end, until the court decision, and then they pay back. So it's kind of very strange business logic for me. Maybe it's what I covered, I think, before we started the interview, that the late fees are very limited for Lithuania. They know that we cannot charge them, huge interest.
There are no big penalties for not paying on time.
Yeah, so you consider it kind of like interest rate for the loan.
In terms of recovery strategy, LANDE is now following a much stricter approach with immediate actions when loans are 60 days due, whereas the platform pursued a much softer approach before, waiting even up to 90 days before engaging in any discussions with the borrowers. LANDE CEO Nikita admitted that this was also due to limited capacity and resources in the past. Setting up clear structures with debt collection stages, while also publishing monthly performance updates, are clearly good actions to keep investors better informed and in the loop about the progress of the platform's recoveries. LANDE is yet to publicly share any financial data from 2023. According to CEO Nikita, this delay is mainly due to changing structures and new accounting teams. In our conversation, Nikita revealed that the platform's revenue has roughly quadrupled from 500k to now 2 million euro, leading to a result close to break even. The biggest impact on the balance sheet has been hiring new staff, which Nikita believes is the most important asset of any company. In terms of the overall financial situation of the company, LANDE CEO Nikita mentioned that the 500,000 euro from a previous funding round haven't been touched yet, which would allow the platform to have more flexibility in its trajectory moving forward if needed. Nikita admitted that working with Lemonway is quite an expensive cost factor for the platform to consider, which is also the same transaction provider for Estate Guru. But so far, adding any fees for investors is not on the agenda of the platform, which would rather charge more interest to borrowers than grabbing into the pockets of its investors. So where does LANDE go from here? Asking about the targets for 2024 and beyond, LANDE CEO Nikita Gontsas responded with a very conservative and stable approach moving forward. The target for the platform is to continue to improve its processes while not rushing into any new markets or launching new products. Instead, the platform wants to prioritize its stability, ensuring a high portfolio quality, and focus on improving debt collection. Considering how other market players have damaged their reputation by engaging in growth fantasies, this strategy seems the way to go for the platform, which can hopefully back up their words with tangible actions for years to come. If you are seeking an alternative to diversify your portfolio outside of the typical consumer loans, LANDE might be an option worth considering. If you're curious to learn more about LANDE, then please head over to our blog where you can dive deeper into the investment profile of the platform.